Hey everybody, so here's another segment of our EDC medical. We've seen our overview, then we got into chest seals and gauze, specifically hemostatic agents, and now we're getting into our emergency trauma dressings, or specifically, like a lot of people know them as, the Israeli bandage. So this one here is a 6-inch one. There are a lot of sizes, one for maybe EDC that you might want to look at, possibly smaller than this, is a 4-inch one instead, especially if you're going to be sticking it into a pocket or things like that, or even in one of a medical carrier or something like that, you're possibly going to want a smaller size. Now for here, our demonstration, I have the 6-inch one, and a lot of people make these across the board. They're pretty simple and everything. You got North American Rescue and a lot of other people, and actually these, compared to a lot of other things, compared to especially tourniquets, which we'll get into later on, you can get off of Amazon or different places like that. But obviously you want to make sure that 100% they're reputable. So like I said, North American Rescue makes them specifically themselves, and also of course they have them on their site compared to a lot of other things as well. So looking at our Israeli bandages, we're going to just continue calling it. We have here vacuum sealed packaging, and we have different cuts wherever you want to tear them at. Okay, so we're going to tear right across and open it up. Now this then actually has a second packaging layer right here. So it's actually the specific vacuum seal of it all. We see here the tip of it so that you can actually really open it up and then get into that cut that's there. And that is when we really are actually getting into our Israeli bandage. So important thing immediately when you're opening up an Israeli bandage is that you're not messing it up, contaminating it, because it has the white section here, which is specifically for the wound. You're not trying to get dirt into that or anything else. You're wanting to put this specifically on the wound. Now for Israeli bandages, you obviously are wanting to place them over wounds, lacerations, things like that. Minor lacerations or different things like that, cuts and whatnot, you can just apply this pretty easily. If you have actual wounds where we're getting gauze involved and things like that, you're obviously wanting to pack the wound first, really get the gauze in, fill it, things like that, hold pressure down on the gauze, and then after that, if it's a hemostatic agent, the 3 minutes of pressure, and if it's not a hemostatic agent, the 10 minutes of pressure, then you can put on this, wrap it up, get the pressure on there so it can hold while you're doing other things, or maybe you're moving on to another person. But this, if it's just simple lacerations or things like that, obviously you can use this by itself. If it's other things, you might need to use different things as well, but this also can definitely help. So actually using the white part here on the wound, we're going to simulate that I have just a wound on my leg here. So we place it down, we're wrapping this around, we're trying to get as tight as possible, and we have here the pressure applicator actually, which actually we can run it through and then actually bring it back. So applying even more pressure there, we're rolling it back over, really getting pressure down on that wound or laceration or whatever it is that might be there, as we're rolling it constantly over, trying to get it. Recommendation is obviously trying to cover the area and get it nice and tight, but you want to cover a little bit below and a little bit above the actual area that you're getting it. So you'll wrap in different areas, get it slightly up, get it slightly down, and then what's really cool, depending on what kind you have, is you actually might have clips, you might have Velcro, different things like that. So there's different methods. I mean, you can do a simple, you're just clipping it, and it's going to clip and it's going to hold, simple like that, or you could then bring it up, tie it through, and do different kinds of ties or things like that. Everything, you know, different techniques you can have, but making sure, most importantly, that you actually have pressure on the area is what matters. And this is a very simple, easy tool and things like that. It can be improvised, of course, as well, but having the actual tool is important. And this is not something that a lot of people maybe look at compared to fusion trauma. Think of maybe it's the simple little first aid class, little boo-boos, things like that, but it can actually help in more than just small lacerations or things like that. So it's definitely something, guys, that we definitely want to have. Just as simple as Israeli bandage. Definitely get it in your EDC kit. All right, guys. Make sure you're practicing medical training, make sure you're getting out there, make sure you have the correct tools for the job. Take care.